Suppliers may see this GS1 designation on orders they've accepted and are ready to process. GS1 is a type of shipping label used for some orders bound for Lowe's stores and facilities. Processing these orders in OrderStream is slightly different than non-GS1 orders. Let's walk through the process now. GS1 orders are selected and fulfilled one at a time. The initial screen will give you a list of the orders with the GS1 designation. Click the order you're ready to fulfill and you'll arrive at the shipment confirmation screen. The Ship To address is, as expected, a Lowe's location, as these are the types of orders that may be using the GS1 labeling. If you're a web supplier or an integrated supplier that receives CommerceHub generated packing slips, you'll also get the auto-generated GS1 labels for any shipments that require it. By default, for each order, CommerceHub auto-generates a single label and a single SSCC ID associated with a single box, now called a unit in this new user experience. Required for each unit that you ship is a tracking number, shipping method, the quantities of each line going into the unit, and dimensions of the unit. Then confirm. Here's the next order that we'll fulfill. In this scenario, we have a multi-line order that will be fulfilled using multiple confirmations. We're going to imagine that the first two lines of the order are shipping from the same warehouse, and the third line from a different warehouse. So we'll confirm the first two lines now, shipping them both in a single unit. I can see from the indicator we discussed earlier that Lowe's is allowing for multiple shipments for this order. To begin, we'll need a revised packing slip. The procedure to reprint packing slips is the same as for non-GS1 orders. From the order details page, I can select packing slip reprint, enter my quantities, then submit. Back on my OrderStream dashboard, I'd see my modified packing slip ready to reprint. Now I'll go back to the shipment confirmation page, enter those same quantities and required information for the unit, and confirm the shipment. Let's again look at that 3-line order, but this time we'll change the scenario a bit. We'll again ship the first 2 lines during the shipment confirmation, but this time we'll pack each line into its own unit and place both those units onto a pallet. This will require modifications to not only the packing slip, but also the GS1 labeling used for the order. As before, I'll head to the order details page to perform a packing slip reprint. From there, I'll designate my quantities for the packing slip reprint, and I also notice this last brick at the bottom of the page, which will only be visible for GS1 orders. We'll revise the GS1 label set to reflect that we'll be shipping this order in 2 units on 1 pallet, and submit. And back on the shipment confirmation page, I see the modified GS1 label set that I created. When I select it, the structure of my shipment updates to reflect the new configuration I chose, 2 units and 1 pallet. Each one of these shipping units has an SSCC ID generated by CommerceHub. The first thing I'll do is add both these shipping units onto the pallet, which shows up at the bottom of the page. Then I'll enter the quantities of each line going into each unit, and the other required inputs, including dimensions for both units and dimensions for the pallet, and confirm. Now the order is partially shipped. For the final scenario, let's walk through the shipping confirmation process for a GS1 designated order if you're a supplier generating your own SSCC IDs. Here we have a single line order. From the dropdown, I select Custom SSCC IDs. The screen clears and I can go ahead and structure my shipment. I'll add 1 unit, which requires an SSCC ID, and I can see it's now been added. I could continue to add additional units and pallets too, but in this case the order will ship in a single unit. So I'll input all required fields and confirm. That concludes the training. We appreciate your attention and encourage you to reach out to CommerceHub customer support if you need any further help with the topics we addressed.